and then upload it to Google Drive.
There we go. All right, I'm going to accept them now. Hi, everyone. It looks like everyone's in the meeting. If you wouldn't all mind turning on your cameras, that would be awesome, so we could see everyone's faces. Since it's a couple minutes after 1 already, I think, oh, we have one more. Just gonna wait and get her in.
Damn.
Okay, great. So I'm going to keep an eye on the waiting room in case anyone else pops in, but for now, I think we'll go ahead and get started. So thank you all for taking the time out of your afternoon to be here with us today for SODA's Scholarship Recipient Networking event. And I know I said congratulations over email, but I also wanted to just personally congratulate you all now on being SODA's 2022 Scholarship Recipients. So I'll go ahead and jump into it. So the event today is going to go pretty much as follows. I'll begin with some introductions and a brief overview of SODA. Really exciting, we have a guest speaker, Edward from Why Not, so he's going to share with you. And after that, we will move into ways you can get further involved with SODA and conclude with a quick discussion. So our team here at SODA, up until this point, you've most likely been communicating with Nicole, who's our program director. She's giving a little wave. And from this point forward, I'm going to be your main point of contact here at SODA. I was about a couple months ago brought on to be the student engagement coordinator. So I'm a newer addition, but I will be who you're hearing from here on out. And my role here at SODA has 3 sort of main components. I am mainly here to be a mentor and a guide to our student leaders. I myself have had a very similar position during my time in college, which I've used to really pass on the information that I learned and sort of advise our current chapter leaders and students who host events. I'm also here to help. Let me just admit another student really quickly. There we go. I'm also here to make sure every chapter is equipped with the tools that they need to succeed. Over email especially, I'm really open to communicating with any questions, comments, feedback. And also, in addition to our existing chapters, I'm here to help support and grow newer chapters and new events. So I'm really loving it so far and excited to be speaking with all of you today. So our story, and more especially our founder's story, Sarah Miller, when she was 12, her older sister, Laura, was rushed to the hospital after having a very sudden seizure. And within hours of being admitted to the hospital, they discovered she had a cancerous brain tumor. And only 3 days after that, she was pronounced to be brain dead. So Sarah's family went through the process of deciding how to move forward and concluded that Laura would have wanted to be an organ donor. And through that decision, they helped to save the life of a 40-year-old special education teacher in upstate New York, who was in the process and very near to passing from liver failure. So through that experience, when Sarah was older and in college, in 2014, she founded the first SODA chapter at Washington University in St. Louis. And very quickly, she saw the impact that her and her fellow chapter members were having on their community and the peers that they knew. So after that, she began to spread within a few years to other campuses and started encouraging other students across the US to start their own SODA chapters and share their stories and their passion. So now we're going to hear from our guest speaker, Edward from Why Not, and their mission is to provide support to pediatric transplant patients, increase awareness about the need for organ and tissue donation, and to promote disease prevention and wellness in the community. So let me just make sure you're able to see the new set of slides.
We can see them.
Oh, great. So Edward, if you want to take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sophia. And It's truly a pleasure to be here amongst you all today. Congratulations on this remarkable achievement. Wow, if you got a few dollars left over, please let me borrow it. I want to go back to college. Nah, but congratulations. And after following Sarah's story, I don't know really what else to say. Like I said, every time I see it, it's remarkable. I have a chance to meet Sarah on several occasions, but yeah, it's remarkable. But I'll be brief today. I'm a former student athlete turned transplant recipient overnight. I want to just come here to encourage you all on why what you're doing is important and is needed and is saving lives. So definitely keep it up. Like I said, I commend you. I commend you for what you're doing. I was around your age. If all of you all are in college, when I got the disturbing news, I was in my sophomore year in college when I got the disturbing news that my kidneys had failed. Never had any prior signs or anything. I was living a dream in college. And was an honor student and playing football. When doing a routine physical, the doctors were alarmed by my blood pressure reading, which was like 248 over 120 at the time. And at the time I was seeing a pediatric doctor and they thought that the cuff was too small. So they went and got a larger cuff, which made me feel good because, I had been working out at that point. But they retook my blood pressure and my blood pressure still showed like 248 over, like I said, 120. And I just immediately rushed to the hospital at the time. I drove there, but they took me to an ambulance in the hospital. And still the significance of it didn't really hit me until I got to the hospital and the doctor came in with like a crazy look on his face and was like, "Son, did you know that you had kidney failure or anything like that?" I was like, "No, what is my kidneys? I know it's something in my body, but I really didn't know what my kidneys was or never was told that my kidneys were failing or anything like that." And I just asked them, will I be okay for the upcoming school year? Because I had to report back to school later that week for camp and then start the school year a couple weeks later, or about a month later rather. And then it really hit me how serious what I was going through was when they told me I would have to start dialysis the next day. I wasn't given no warning. They told me I would have to start dialysis the next day and that my name would be having to be placed on a waiting list. And even then, it really didn't hit me. What really hit me was when they told me that I would have to move back home with my parents, and start dialysis. And that's when the significance of the impact of what was going on was. I worked so hard to get out my parents' home, to have to move back was like devastating. But I did dialysis for 3 years. And when I was just doing dialysis, I was like, why me? Why now? Everything that I worked so hard for, both in the classroom and in athletics, I just came to an instant halt without any notice of any kind. So I just remember doing my treatments, and all I could do was really cry, watching my friends go off and pledge fraternities, and my friends go to the NFL and going to get all these major jobs, and here I am just stuck on this dialysis machine, wondering if I was gonna get an opportunity not only to live, but to, pursue some of those other dreams. But in the mix of crying one day, saying, why me? The man up above said, why not you? And that's when why not turn this negative into a positive? And that's when I started going to volunteer at the various children's hospital. Had to get my mind out of that why me stage. And then I started volunteering at the children's hospital and start seeing the younger kids who were going through similar situations. And instead of counting my problems, I started really counting my blessings and start being thankful for the things that I had got to do, like riding bikes and not missing school and stuff like that. And and then I started an organization back in 2007, which I'm still doing today. And I got my transplant in 2008 from a deceased donor named Leanne, who when X said yes to becoming an organ and tissue donor, she was deceased. So in death, she gave me life. So organ donation does work. Like I said, I received my kidney from a deceased donor. And I remember when I wrote the family, I couldn't think of the words to say to thank them for the gift that their daughter gave me. All I could say was words is meaningful, but actions are powerful. I would allow my actions to show my gratitude, how thankful I was for this organ donor. So as you can see in the picture, that's me being sick and, on dialysis, started my organization, and which led to me like working with different companies and doing work in the organ and tissue donation space, to now most recently it was about 14 years later, 13 years later from the day I got diagnosed and said, why me? I helped to push through a bill legislation to extend Medicare for all kidney transplant patients. So like I said, I'm just trying to inspire, just like you all are doing, trying to inspire others to become organ and tissue donors, because it does save lives. And you'd be surprised by how many kids and people in general are affected. And just to know that I'm one of the lucky ones whose lives were saved, but 18 plus men, women, and children die each day because of the seriousness of organ donation. So definitely, I just want to encourage you all to keep up the great work. You know, like I said, you all are making a lot, or you all are saving lives. And like I said, I commend you. Like I said, if back in college, if I was in college, I would be doing the same thing. So like I said, if you all definitely keep up with the great work, continue, why not strive for greatness? So thank you, Nicole. Thank you, Sophia, for this opportunity, and definitely keep up the great work, you all. You saving lives. Thank you.
Thank you, Edward, for sharing your story. That was incredibly inspirational, and I think your perspective is truly amazing. I wanted to ask if any of you on the call have any questions for Edward. In the meantime, before we move on, feel free to unmute yourselves if you do. I see Nicole's thank you in the chat. Well, thank you, Edward, again for coming and joining us today.
Thank you all, and thanks again, and congratulations. So
moving on to hosting a SODA event, which is something we have asked you all to do as scholarship recipients. This is a great option for our students who only have a few hours here and there to dedicate to organ donation advocacy. The process for hosting an event is relatively simple. You fill out an eligibility quiz, and from there decide which event type you'd like to host. And on our website, we have many different ideas that students can use to influence their events. And after you've sort of decided what you want your event to look like and what your goals are, you can relay that information on our event application, which our team then reviews and approves. And once you've been approved to host your event, there are a variety of resources that you receive from SODA. The first being mentorship, which I covered, is essentially me. I'm a resource. And the second is event funding. We never want students to feel like they have to pay out of pocket for anything they may need for their events, including supplies or any potential application fees that the school or wherever they're hosting their event may require. So we're happy to reimburse our students, and as well as SODA supplies, some basic supplies, t-shirts, buttons, stickers, things of that sort. And if any students need additional supplies on that end, they can definitely request from us as well. And I briefly mentioned some of our how-to guides with the event inspiration ideas. We have a variety more. I think we have over 25 now, which include templates for social media posts, PowerPoint presentations, flyers, individual register me links to help track the exact number of donors that you get from your specific event. So I'm really looking forward to hearing from you all moving forward, those of you who may not have completed your event yet, what yours is going to look like in the future. And I definitely want to reach out to all of you who have already done your event as well to hear how that went. So in addition to SODA as a resource for our students, we also connect them with their OPO or organ procurement organization, which hopefully you've all been in touch with your contact at your OPO. And if you haven't, definitely email me after this and we will put you in touch with them. And they are really the organ donation experts in your region. They provide you with donation training and help connect you to more local donation community resources, including volunteer opportunities, and some can even help provide additional supplies and training for your upcoming events. So don't hesitate to reach out to them. They're always really helpful for our chapters and our students. And moving forward, for students who want to dedicate a few more hours each week, a bit more time to SODA, and if this is something that interests anyone, definitely reach out to me as well. The process for becoming a SODA chapter is relatively similar to be hosting an event. You begin with the eligibility quiz, and then we ask that our students find a team of 3 leaders to help with their SODA chapter, since it is more of a time commitment. And from there, you fill out a chapter application that asks relatively similar questions about your goals and what you're hoping to achieve with your SODA chapter. And SODA recently celebrated our over 50 chapter milestone, which is super exciting. I joined just in time, and we actually now have 54 chapters across the US, which is incredible. And thanks to those chapters and all of our students have educated over 40,000 people about organ and tissue donation and have registered over 3,000 people to be organ and tissue donors. So the impact has been huge, and it is continuing to grow. So I'm really excited to see where it goes. Does anyone have any questions about any of the information that I just went over before we move into our discussion portion? Okay, I see some people shaking their heads, so I'll move on. For the discussion portion, I would love if everyone could just keep themselves maybe unmuted. I'd love to hear from as many people as possible, if not everyone, for pretty much every question. Of course, if you're uncomfortable speaking for any reason, feel free to type in the chat. But the questions are super simple, so no need to feel intimidated to unmute and share your answer. So my first question is, where are you all from and where do you go to school? If anyone wants to unmute and begin.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jessica Cody. I'm a third-year political science major, economics minor on a pre-law track. I'm from Fayetteville, North Carolina, and I go to Hampton University.
Thank you for sharing, Jessica, getting us started.
Hey, I'm Bree. I'm from Hinesville, Georgia, and I go to school in Statesboro at Georgia Southern University.
Hi, Bree.
I'm Audrey. I'm going to DePaul in Chicago.
Awesome. Nice to meet you.
Hello, my name is Josh Reynolds, and I'm from Northern Virginia, well, specifically Ashburn, and I go to Northern Virginia Community College at the moment.
Great. Nice to meet you, Josh.
Hello, my name is Lakin Kincaid. I'm from Beckley, West Virginia, but I go to John Carroll University in Northern Ohio.
Cool. Hi, Lakin. I believe that was everyone, so we can move on to the next question. When are you all graduating, or what are your plans for the future from here on out? It can be very vague, no pressure on an exact answer.
I graduate in May of 2024 with a Bachelor of Arts. I'm currently double majoring in political science and communications, and I hope to have an internship with Meet the Press at NBC and be a political journalist.
Awesome. Wow, that was a great answer. I wouldn't have had that answer when I was an undergrad, but love it.
I'll graduate in 2024, and my plan for the future, I'm a political science major, like I said. So my plan is to go into law. I want to be a corporate lawyer or in-house counsel for a fintech company.
Awesome. Very aspirational. I love it.
I will graduate in December of 2024 with a Bachelor of Science in Public Health and a Bachelor of Arts in Philosophy of Law. I want to go to law school and get my dual law degree and public health master's. And I want to work for a hospital in bioethics and write public policy.
Cool. A couple lawyers in here. I was actually a public health major. I was hoping someone else would be.
I'm going to graduate in 2024, like most of y'all. I'm going to get a BFA in art, media, and design. And afterwards, I'm not so sure, but hopefully maybe get a residency or look at grad school.
Yeah, that's awesome. I, as I said, did not have an answer. Even when I graduated, I didn't know what I was doing. So I totally relate.
I am graduating in 2026. I'm currently like majoring in business administration, so I'm not sure where I will go with the degree or not, but I do have a plan of transferring to a 4-year institution or university in the next year or two.
That's awesome. I had a brief moment where I was studying health administration and I found it to be really challenging. So that's really cool. I'm sure the business side is definitely more interesting as well. So moving into our sort of last question, I was wondering what event ideas you guys have for this semester. I'm not sure if any of you have already completed your event or what stages you're in, but feel free to just share wherever you are in the event planning process or what ideas you could have for when you do start that process.
For my event, I am planning on doing a tabling event with my fraternity, and trying to do an organ donation drive, try to get people signed up to be organ donors.
Yeah, that's awesome. Be sure to use your personalized register me link to track the number of donors you get. And if you need that, I can go ahead and send it to you again. But tabling is a great way to get the word out there, especially when it's affiliated through an organization. Anyone else have any plans set in motion or even not set in motion, anything you think could be a good idea?
I'm going to be tabling as well in my school student center around Thanksgiving for him get us a thankful for organ donation, stuff like that. Mostly focusing on education, but also trying to get a few people registered as well, and just trying to promote advocacy and combining with a few of the service groups on campus.
Awesome. Yeah, collaboration's a great tool also. And Thanksgiving's a really cool theme to have. So if you need any, as I said, like funding to get some decorations, don't hesitate to submit a funding request and we can definitely help you out there. Anyone else considering tabling after hearing this, or any other event ideas? I know some students do some walks, things like that, bigger events, smaller events. And if you guys need any ideas for events, as I said, our website, the students resources page, if you go to the Notion guides, we have a bunch of options from virtual to in-person. It's totally up to you. But do be sure to use those register me links and go ahead and update me when you do have your event plans or when you've already hosted your event. I'm happy to help in any stage of the process that you're in. I'm really just here to provide any support that you need. So otherwise, are there any questions anyone has, any additional things you'd like to share? Okay, I'm seeing some heads nodding. Well, thank you all again for joining us this afternoon. I really appreciate you all being here, and it was so lovely to hear from all of you. I'm sure we'll be in contact a lot more over the next few weeks, so I really look forward to that, and congratulations again on being our scholarship recipients.